Oh, you know what? That is an interesting question. I've never really had to think about it.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, Lisa?
I'm good. It's so good to meet you. This was obviously such an iconic show for different generations now. Obviously, when we were kids, now you're bringing it to a new generation. I got to know, what was it like the first time you put on the iconic, like, striped shirt?
It was strange. I think everything felt really surreal. I thought that I would wake up from some cruel dream and realize that wasn't my reality at some point. But I think when it really hit, I was on set watching Steve and Donovan record their portion of the Notebook phone call. And I think that when I saw them playing and interacting with each other on the same set that I work on, that's when I realized, oh my gosh, you are doing what you've always wanted to do, something that you didn't know that you wanted to do until a few years earlier. And I just feel so lucky. And every single day, I have a blast on set. I know I'm going to laugh. I know that I'm going to learn something new. And I'm so happy that I get to work with essentially family every day.
That's amazing. And I know you've worked with Steve and Donovan a few times, with episodes of the show, but nothing really kind of took off like the anniversary stuff you guys did. That just like hit so many other people who maybe didn't even realize the show was still there. What was it like seeing that response and then, being all together and being able to celebrate such a milestone?
It was wild. I never thought that I would ever be a part of a show like this. I never thought that I would be working with people that I really love. Yeah, we Donovan, Steve, and I, we haven't, because we all live in different places, and we're together only when we work most times. I'm so surprised how much love there is for each other. We're cousins on the show, and it's like we're cousins in real life. And I'm so happy that every opportunity that I get to work with them is always an easy experience, that like no matter how difficult or how overwhelmingly long our shot list is, it's always an easy day with them. And getting to work with family is just the dream. So yeah.
In watching this show, it seems like it must be fun, but it also must be such a challenge from the way other projects that you've been on have been filmed, because essentially it's a lot of just you and I'm guessing green screens, and you don't
Yeah.
see what happens until later, and plus you're also doing the pauses to the camera and all of that. Which for you was kind of the biggest challenge moving into this show, and maybe something that you've learned that you'll take with you to your next project whenever that happens?
I would say that it's the making of TV. There are so many challenges on set, and thankfully, I get the opportunity to work with the most incredible crew, and they are family to me. I know they have my back, and I 100% have their back. And I just so love and am fascinated by the problem solving on set. And I didn't know that I would like it so much. And after this experience, and I get to still be in this experience, so I'm so lucky. I know that I want to be on the other side of the camera. I want to work on the other side of the camera in any capacity to problem solve with other people in creative ways under pressure. And that's something that I never thought that I would ever say ever in my life.
That's amazing. I love it. And we obviously have a big holiday episode, Festival Lights. And one thing I did love about the show, I don't know if I was might have been a little bit old, but it was on where I volunteered for like a Red Cross. It was on every morning for the kids that walked in. So I ended up learning quite a bit. This show teaches kids about different cultures, different religions, different holidays that they might not,
Yeah.
be aware of. What was your favorite part about bringing, Hanukkah to this episode?
I think what I love about this episode, A Blues Clues Festival of Lights, is how accessible our introduction to Hanukkah is. And I think it's a wonderful way to look at it. For me, is that our show, we get to celebrate Hanukkah and share with people a piece of it. as an introduction to hopefully springboard conversation into Hanukkah and other holidays and religions and traditions and festivals, and get to do it in such a fun way with an original new song, and get to sing, and that I get to sing it with two new guests on our show, and I'm so excited for everyone at home to meet them. They are wonderful, and I have to be careful because if I say too much, it'll ruin the game of Blue's Clues.
No spoilers. You don't want to spoil
No
the
spoilers.
show.
Not
I
here.
love it. Is there an aspect or a tradition or something that is meaningful to you that you would love to see kind of be brought into the show for an episode?
Oh, you know what? That is an interesting question. I've never really had to think about it. You know, I'm Filipino, and so I love all the desserts that happen during the holidays. You know, I would love to see more biko, but only because then I would get to eat the biko. I would love, you know, I think I would love to see have to bring in a parol into the episode in the future at some point. I would just love to have one in my own home. You know, my wife and I travel so much that it's difficult to be able to celebrate the holidays the way a lot of people get to celebrate the holidays and just be home. And so personally, I would love to be able to either get or make a parol and light it up during the Christmas season.
You must get a lot of amazing feedback from both children and adults. What has been your maybe proudest or most memorable moment from being a part of this show?
There's so many moments. There are a lot of times whether I'm on set and I just realize how lucky I am, knowing how difficult it is, how difficult this business can be. And I think the biggest thing that that always hits me like a ton of bricks is whenever I get a text from a friend or a friend's friend, and they say, my kid pointed to the screen and he said he looks like me. And that always gets me because I never really saw anyone on screen that I identified with. And to be able to be silly and sensitive and to be myself, and for people to connect with that is something that's really special, and I'm so appreciative of.